the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the third count of the information, unknown male, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the fourth count of the information, Anthony Huber, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts? Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as read?
All right. Wow.
Wow.
Can you believe it? We saw that this week. Kyle Rittenhouse acquitted of all charges. Not guilty, baby! I was so nervous watching that verdict come in. I was sitting at work on my computer just like, oh, I was not sure one way or another how that would go. I mean, the jury was intimidated. I know they took the instructions over the weekend, and a lot of people were saying that points to a couple of holdouts, and maybe they said, well, you know what, for the weekend, why don't you take these instructions and you go think about it, but unless you come back and change your mind to the rest of the jury, we're going to find this kid not guilty. But it was such a relief. I'm sure I can't imagine what Kyle was feeling in that moment when he collapsed. I mean, I've stood in front of a judge, and it wasn't for murder charges. And when she told me that I was good to go, you know, the relief, the wave of relief that just washed over my body walking out of that courthouse, knowing that was all behind me. And so for this kid, 18 years old, to be going through what he did with the trial by media and the public shaming him and calling him a white supremacist and lying about, even as we watch the evidence come out, they continued to lie. They're still lying.
Yeah.
You still see people on Twitter saying, well, he could still get charged with that weapon, you know, because he crossed state lines with the weapon. I'm like, did you miss the part in the trial where they went over that thoroughly and he never crossed state lines with the weapon? It was always in Kenosha.
Yeah.
Like, did you not watch the trial, but you still get on Twitter and decide it's time for you to speak up? Like, your stupid is showing, okay? You morons. I get on Twitter, and it makes me so angry. Just people still believe this because the corporate media is pushing this narrative, even though he's been found not guilty and it's over that this white supremacist got off, and that's how it works in America. Joy Reid, this is a sad example of how the white privileged can walk, but if he was black, if he was black and defended his life against a child rapist and a guy pointing a gun at him and someone trying to beat him with a skateboard, I would applaud that person the same. Exactly. This has nothing to do with race.
No.
He shot 3 white people.
Yeah. 3 white people, including one white person that was screaming the N-word.
Yeah, Rosenbaum.
Screaming the N-word. I'll kill you, N-word. I'll kill you, N-word. That doesn't give you a reason to defend yourself as he's chasing you. I don't know what does. I really don't.
It doesn't fit what they when this initially happened, this was at the tail end of the summer of love, and they just could not go back on what they said, that he was this white supremacist that took a gun. They literally said this on MSNBC, that like this penis-looking mother talking about how Kyle Rittenhouse was excuse me.
He should have never been on trial to begin with.
How he's a pro-Trumper.
The FBI withheld video evidence that would have gotten him off of everything. They withheld it until the trial started. He should have never, ever been charged, period.
Yep. This was the court of public opinion. The media, they were calling him what I said, this penis guy. He said Kyle Rittenhouse was a Trump-supporting white supremacist who went to that rally to kill people. I'm sorry.
He may have been a Trump supporter. I think he was Had a couple rallies. Some photos came up. Of
Oh,
him
well,
at
you
some-
got one thing
But who
right.
gives a shit?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
He went there to do what the police would not do.
The thing that really, really bothers me, you mentioned Twitter, is the fact that every Hollywood celebrity, big name, whatever, are supporting pedophilia.
Yeah, they're really mad that a pedophile got shot
They're
and killed.
pissed.
Yeah.
They're pissed that a pedophile got killed. Oh, man. They're coming on to us.
They're figuring us out,
They're,
Bob.
They're starting to figure it out. That's another thing, though. The internet's starting to figure it out, that the media is just full of liars. That's all it is. Bunch of liars. You
Sorry,
all right
I'm just
there?
trying to fix one little thing. Okay. Wow, what did I just do there? Sorry, folks. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's insane what they're doing to this kid and the things he's had to go through. And I hope Kyle Rittenhouse becomes the richest young man
Yeah.
from suing
Yeah.
the shit
Yes.
out of the corporate media.
Yeah.
MSNBC,
And politicians.
CNN, the
Politicians.
Washington Times, the Washington Post, the New York Times, the New York. Well, not the. I don't know if the New York Post ever slandered him. But
Probably not. But, like, definitely the Washington.
Yahoo, they're still doing it.
Facebook.
They are still doing it to this day, posting. Well, they're calling Rosenbaum and Huber and Grosskreutz the victims.
Yeah.
I saw a really great thing on Twitter the other day that was like this post, and it showed all of their faces and their records, and it was like
Yeah.
murdered by victim.
Yeah.
Murdered by victim, because Kyle Rittenhouse is the victim in this case.
Correct.
Now, whether or not you think he should have been there has nothing to do with the
It's
fact that he
irrelevant.
defended his life.
It's irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
It's irrelevant.
It's like the prosecution trying to bring up the point that, well, you can't bring a rifle to defend property. You have acknowledged that. We know that. And he's like, yeah, well, I didn't use my rifle to defend property.
Right.
I brought the rifle to protect myself in case shit went down, which it did.
Yep. Which it did.
Thank God he brought a gun.
Exactly. Dude, the corporate media wanted Kyle to die. They wanted that mob to kill Kyle. That's all that they wanted. That is all that they wanted. Oh, man. I am pissed off. I'm pissed off, dude. It's like, this should have never happened. And I'm not saying, like, Kyle shouldn't have been there. Fine. Neither should have those rioters. I'm saying it shouldn't have ever gone to court. He should have never been charged for murder. It was self-defense through and through from the beginning to the end.
It was on camera from the start.
Exactly.
And like you said, the FBI withheld that footage that from the beginning would have exonerated Kyle, because
Yep.
you see clearly that Rosenbaum goes after Kyle. What's his name that fired the shot in the air?
Huber.
No, not Huber.
Wachowski, or which
Yeah, some Owski name.
Wachowski or
I
something
know,
like
I'm
that.
forgetting
Yeah.
it now, which is terrible. But
Which I think aren't there charges against him too? I think there's something pending.
I thought Grosskreutz was. Oh yeah.
Grosskreutz was trying to sue
Zeminski.
Yeah, Zeminski.
Zeminski is the one that
Zeminski.
he's being criminally
Yeah.
charged, which why they didn't have him testify in court.
Right.
But
that was also the state's decision to do that. They could have said, he can testify.
They could have
if
granted
they
him
wanted
immunity,
Yes,
right?
Right. Well,
and said if
I
you
don't know if they
testify,
can-
we
they
need
could-
your testimony, but then we won't charge you for shooting in the air.
right. I mean, they could throw that out there. I don't know if they can actually.
That's a legal
I'm not sure.
precedent. They can
Yeah.
do that.
Okay.
That was an argument of why
Also,
didn't
like-
they bring him in, because they could have just offered him immunity to come in and give his
Yeah.
testimony.
Fifth Amendment, right?
No, they just would have said, we're not going to charge you with what you did if in
Yeah.
turn you give us testimony that helps us convict the defendant.
Right.
Yeah.
Convict an innocent man.
As in he can't incriminate himself by giving testimony in which he states that he is acting criminally.
Yeah.
Well,
Which everyone there was. Right? Like
The whole argument you shouldn't have been in there, then none of them
Right.
should have been there.
Right.
Then Gage shouldn't have traveled further
Yeah.
with that illegal handgun.
Illegal
he had.
handgun,
Illegal
yes.
handgun.
Illegal.
Why Kyle was legally
Legally,
entitled to carry that rifle.
yeah, it's just it's. Oh God, I'm
That's why you watch this. I watched his testimony
So
again
pissed
last night.
off, man.
I watched Kyle give his
sick of it.
testimony last night again, and just watching the prosecution get destroyed.
Yeah.
That douchebag Binger.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the haircut. It's like it was almost like a uniform. He couldn't have been a bigger douchebag
Yeah.
than with his stupid little
Little
faux
Binger.
hawk. Oh,
Little
dude.
Binger from
his career
Game of
has got to be over, right?
Actually, the only person that Kyle murdered was Binger. His career, that is. he just murdered his career, dude.
Yeah, he did.
That guy's gonna be on CNN for the rest of his life as a legal expert.
Oh yeah, like a legal analyst.
Yeah.
Where they're getting the worst ratings ever. As of October, or I think
Good.
it was October. All CNN shows were receiving less than like I want to say it was like the biggest drop off in views in this year. God, I can't remember the number. I was just looking at it, but I know that Anderson Cooper, who's like their top biller, gets 219,000 viewers
Right.
per show.
Yeah.
While Joe Rogan is averaging
Like a million?
11 million.
Yeah, 11 million. That's insane.
11 million. So
Dude.
when Sanjay Gupta goes on there and it's like, oh yeah, they shouldn't have said that. You have to realize the scope of like one group who's seeing this and being influenced versus this other group that's like this loud majority on Twitter and the internet, but they are not the majority.
No.
That's my new favorite comment when people get after me on Twitter. I just say, you know what? You're the minority now and you're just going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And you know what? You can think all you want. You can shout on Twitter about your radical left-wing ideals and how this country is wrong and you need to change it and everything's wrong and Rittenhouse was a white supremacist and he's a white supremacist and Larry Elder is a black white supremacist and everybody's a white supremacist. It's like the new boogeyman.
Yeah.
It is so outrageous.
I'm sick
and
of
real
the
Americans
word white
do not think
supremacist.
that way.
I'm sick of it. It's like the boy that cried wolf, because when there is a white supremacist,
Yeah.
they're just gonna overlook it.
When you've got a neo-Nazi with his head shaved and a fucking swastika tattooed on top, that's a white supremacist.
Right. Yeah.
So-
or maybe a guy screaming, "Kill me, N-word! Kill me, N-word!" A white man, 5'3", rapes 5 children. I don't know. Maybe that's a little more white supremacy than the guy that they're chasing that defends himself.
But that's who the media is defending, is Joseph Rosenbaum, who anally raped children.
Yeah, at least one for sure.
But he's the victim.
Yeah,
And he had burn marks on his hand from grabbing the rifle, and earlier in the night he told Kyle he was going to kill him. Oh, but he's the victim.
Yeah.
The media is outrageous.
Yeah.
And I told you this. I talked to a coworker at work the other night, and he showed me his phone. He's like, dude, he got off. Like, he was sad about it. And I go, hell yeah. Self-defense. And I explained that Gage had pointed a gun at Kyle before he vaporized his bicep. I explained that Rosenbaum was a 5-time child pedophile that grabbed for the gun and told Kyle earlier in the night that he was going to kill him and said, fuck you, and grabbed for the rifle. I told him that it's all on video. He clearly acted in self-defense. You know what that coworker went to from being like, oh, Kyle is bad? He immediately told me, and excuse my language, I would have shot that motherfucker too. And I'm like, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Just people are not being told the truth by the news. And once you expose them to just a little bit of truth, they're like, oh my God, their minds open up.
Yeah.
It's what happened to me. I mean, summer of 2020, I was angry about
happened to
George Floyd. I
everyone.
was saying, defund the police.
It's happened to everyone, because you can't just, like, even people that are hardcore Fox News watchers understand that they've been lied to multiple times. Like, everyone is waking up to it. Everyone sees how disgustingly dishonest the corporate media is. Everyone sees it.
It's gross.
Everyone sees it.
They
And
just
then
lie and lie and lie
then-
and lie.
yeah.
Joy Reid, oh, you are such a
she's a
stupid
racist
woman and
she's
a racist.
She's a full-blown
Hates
racist.
white people.
Hates all people,
And
I
just,
think.
I think hates every. She lives in that elitist class now. She thinks that she is some sort of celebrity superstar, and she is above everybody else.
Yeah.
And she can say whatever she wants, and she'll base it all on this premise of white people are evil and black
Yeah.
people, blah blah blah. She'll never address real issues.
No.
Like maybe in the black community, we should be promoting the skillsocracy instead of an meritocracy by giving people the opportunity to gain skills.
Yeah.
Which starts with a mother and a father in the home in a strong community. It doesn't mean dumping money or throwing reparations at people. That doesn't work.
No.
You have to change the culture.
Yep.
And you have to, this whole idea that after the civil rights movement, government stepped in and said, hey, black women, you don't need a man in the home anymore. You don't need a father in the home. All you need to do is depend on us, depend on welfare to raise your kids. The government will raise your kids. You put them in government schools, which they're not public schools, they're government schools. If they were public schools, the public would have access to them. They would be able to walk in and give their grievances to the front office. They're not public schools, they're government schools. Let's make that very, very clear. You can put your kid in a private school, or you can put them in a government-run institution, where now we see all over the country that kids are being brainwashed, and the media continues to cover saying CRT isn't being taught in schools under this premise or this guise that, like, it's not the college course in sociology that's being taught, which can be taught to full-grown adults who can have a conversation about it. I have no problem with critical race theory as a subject being taught in colleges as a theory along with many other theories.
Right.
But when you're just trying to brainwash children, indoctrinate
yeah.
children with this ideal that, like, you can point to a 5-year-old white kid in a room and point to a 5-year-old black kid in a room and say, you're the victim, you're the oppressor. I don't support that.
No.
Nobody supports that. And it is happening,
Yeah.
despite the media saying it's
Yep.
not happening. We
New
have
York City.
video evidence.
New York City, just this week, some school in New York City is now dividing kids in class by race. White kids over here, black kids over here, Asian kids over here. All in the same classroom. They're all being segregated. And they think this is progress.
That's disgusting. That's why I told you the other night, I'm not going to call them liberals,
Yeah.
because they're not liberals, because I'm a classical liberal. I believe in liberty and freedom, and everybody has the right to the pursuit of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So they're not liberals. They're not progressives. That's the other thing. We can go leftists. Leftists is okay, but even that's getting hard to say because moderate leftists are like, these people are crazy.
Well, it's like how they changed the term vaccinated. Like the CDC changed the term vaccinated to something else. They have changed the term progressive to digressive.
Well, they're regressives.
Regressives.
Yeah. Everything, they want to regress the society back into times of segregation, Jim Crow law, and
Yeah.
historically, this is what the Democrats do.
Yeah.
And it's like they're just sneaking it under your nose, under this whole.
Well,
and
now
they've
not.
fooled the youth.
Now they're just saying the quiet parts out loud. You know what I mean? Like, they're not even hiding it
Yeah,
anymore.
they want to crush the oil industry because, and they're saying that out loud because they want gas prices to be so high that the average American can't afford gas. So they're pressured into buying an uber expensive electric car that 5 years down the road, when the battery dies, is useless because the batteries are as expensive as the cars. They want you to be poor. They want you to be dependent on the government.
Yes.
They don't want you to be independent.
No.
They don't want you to be able to exercise your free will because you have the financial ability to just take off and do what you want and start your own business and create wealth for yourself, because then you don't need them.
Right.
And that's what they want.
They want to enslave you.
They want to enslave you.
They want to enslave you, man.
It's plain as day.
They don't want you to speak your mind. They don't want you to protect yourself. They don't want you to protect your children. They don't want you.
No. How'd that go for Australia? The buyback program.
Right.
Okay, and now these people don't have weapons, and look at the tyranny that is ensuing in Australia.
You guys still think Australia's a good idea? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you see what's happening in Australia? You want that here? You want, if you're unvaxxed, that the police come in and detain you and take you away from your children? Or if you test positive, you get pulled out of your home, and they're building camps. When is it ever a good idea when they're building camps? What happened to the far left? Where's AOC now when she's talking about kids in cages?
Right.
What's her opinion on Australia where they're building camps? Camps.
And in China, which they all support, has concentration camps.
The Uyghur Muslim genocide.
Genocide.
You see Biden sitting at his desk this week.
And the NBA just loves China.
Oh, LeBron will defend China.
Fuck
John
the NBA,
Cena
dude.
will defend China.
I'm done. I'm done watching any NBA fucking game, dude. I'm done. I'm
Yeah, I'm
done
not watching
supporting
basketball
them.
ever again
I'm
in my
not
life.
watching them, dude.
No.
Fuck
They
that.
won't get $1 from me.
Communist sons of bitches, dude.
LeBron James won't acknowledge Taiwan as a country.
I gotta chill out. I'm just pissed off. I'm sorry.
You should be pissed off.
I'm pissed,
Everyone
dude.
should be pissed off.
I'm pissed. I'm sick of this.
Our country's going down the tubes right in front of your faces. And what do? We complain, and GOP members in Congress complain, and they put on these shows, and Rand Paul, God bless him, but he just puts on these shows,
I know.
and Jim Jordan puts on these shows, and they send out these documents. But what changes?
Right.
What's in the way? Can you just not get things done? Or are you not trying to get things done?
It has to be something that, like, I don't know.
I feel like they're all just playing the game.
Right. The game of politics.
The game of politics, the game of celebrity. I don't know where this country's headed right now.
Man. I just hope Kyle Rittenhouse, for the love of God, sues every single piece of shit that slandered his name for the past year and a half.
Yeah.
Especially the politicians. I'm talking Bill de Blasio, who literally an hour after he was found innocent, writes some bogus tweet, just straight up lies about what happened, and basically incites violence into his own city.
Yeah, you see this, a lot of people coming out and saying, well, now we have to take to the streets.
Right.
Where is the accountability
Right.
there?
Yeah.
Where's accountability culture when it comes to these people saying,
Yeah.
get out there and burn down your business, your home,
Exactly.
your car, your ability to live, your ability to be free and function in this country as an independent American? Where is the accountability there? Oh, there isn't any.
No.
You sit by and watch day after day after day as these people continue just to run amok and do what they want and incite violence and call for action in the streets, and people praise it. But if it's on the other side, oh, that's wrong. What happened to a standard of civility? What happened to the rule of law? And you know what? Justice was served with Kyle Rittenhouse, and to all of you morons out there that still think he crossed the state lines with a gun, or he went into a crowd with the aim of killing protesters, or showed up there to do wrong, he's a white supremacist, Trump-supporting white supremacist, to all of you that continue to buy that moronic narrative, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
And beyond that, I feel sorry for this country that you are here and contributing to its society while staying asleep. Mm-hmm. You love to call yourselves woke, but you're so asleep that it hurts. Mm-hmm. You literally turn on the TV, you go on Twitter, you read a headline, you go, oh, that's the truth. I'm not going to read more into that. Why would I need to read more into that? I just read the headline, I'll quote tweet that. Well, white supremacist. You're an idiot. Mm-hmm. You turn on CNN, you see Brian Stelter, you see little Cuomo coming on there, acting like fools.
Frodo.
You are the minority. Their ratings show it. The YouTube dislikes on every president White House video featuring Biden show it. Every press secretary Psaki video results show that. You are the minority. Those of you that think you are the progressive saviors of this future, most of you white who think you speak for the minority community in this country with your savior complex, are you kidding me? Get off your high horse. You do not need to save anybody.
Right. Get out of your mom's basement. Go get a job and commit to society. Like, be something more than a
Black
Twitter troll,
America
dude.
didn't ask for you to save them. You white, liberal, regressive
Racist
piece of shit.
piece of dog shit.
But I'm the racist. I'm the white supremacist. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm the new majority in this country.
That's right.
Virginia shows it. New Jersey almost showed it, but they, you know, how that went.
Yeah.
And now we see...
You know what, though? The leftists, I don't want to call them liberals, like you said.
No.
The leftists need to keep doing what they're doing. Attack the children, so mama bears wake up, and keep calling everyone white supremacists. Keep calling black people the black face of white supremacists. Keep doing that, because it's all going to work out really well for you guys.
It's all turning.
I
mean, it's all turning. I think we're going to see a huge, huge shift in this country.
Red
Not only
wave.
politically, but socially.
Red wave.
Yeah. And if I have to trust the Republicans to do it, then fine, because the Democrats are totally gone.
Yeah.
Totally gone.
Yeah.
All right.
The only moderate left is what Kelsey Gabbard, right? Kelsey, what's her name?
Tulsi Gabbard?
Yes. Yeah. She's like
What'd
the
you call
only
her?
moderate. I don't
Kelsey
know.
Grandma?
Kelsey.
Kelsey Grammer?
Kelsey
Like from
Grammer.
the guy from Frasier?
He's a conservative, big time.
We work with
He got
Jane.
canceled.
Oh, I can't say that. We're
No,
gonna
you
have to
can't.
beep that.
You can't say what we do for a living. 'Cause
I don't
some
work with
people-
anybody.
No, I hate people,
All right.
especially Hollywood.
Let's shut it down.
All right. Just stay pissed off, guys. That's all I can say.
All right. Until next time.
Later.
Stay safe. Stay safe. I did it too.
Yeah.
Stay safe and stay sweet.
Stay sweet. Joe
Sweet.
Biden.
Stay
Joe
sweet.
Biden.
Bruh. You just gotta, hey. Sometimes you gotta poop your pants at the Vatican.
I got a clean colon. I got it cleaned out.
My butt's been wiped.
My butt's been wiped.
My butt's been wiped.
My butt's been
All right.
What do you say to Americans who are watching you right now who are scared?
I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say.